Hello, everyone. I am back to show you. I know it's been a while, right? But I am back to show you how to make a rhinestone template using Silhouette Business Edition, using Silhouette Studio Business Edition. To create rhinestones, you have to have the business edition. It doesn't work on the basic, and I guess the one that's in the middle that you can select. It doesn't work. You don't have the rhinestone option. So I'm gonna jump right into it. The first thing that we want to do is find an image, and I actually already have an image. But what you would do is just do a simple Google search on silhouette images, and you would cater it to whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for a woman with an afro, or if you're looking for words, you would cater it to whatever you're looking for and put silhouette um, clip art or silhouette pictures. You'll bring it up that way, and then I'll show you how to do the rest. So basically, again, I already have a picture, and again, you want to make sure you're using the business edition of Silhouette Studio. Um, the messed up part about this is I just recorded this whole video and I thought I was recording and I wasn't even recording. How about that? But anyways, I'm gonna go to file. I am going to go to merge and I'm gonna bring my picture in. And this is just a picture that I'm using for the sake of this video. I'm gonna make it small. And I'm gonna put this picture over here. Let's make it. And another thing, so this is a low resolution design. You wanna make sure that you get a high resolution picture. So the first thing we're going to do is take this picture and we're going to open up the trace panel. So we're going to select our trace area, which is this little box here. It's going to highlight in all yellow. That's a good thing. You're going to see a little bit of rigid edges. But that's because this picture is low resolution. So that's why it's good if you pick a high resolution photo. We're going to do a solid fill and we're going to click trace. So what we did is basically traced all of our black of this picture. So what we want to do is remove this white background. I'm going to move it out the way. And I'm going to make this smaller just so we can use this as a reference picture. I'm also going to show you guys something else. I'm going to copy and paste this to keep it. I'm going to put these two over to the side. So what we're going to be working with is this here. So when you first create a trace image of that picture, is gonna come bundled together. Basically, it's gonna be grouped together. So what we have to do is do a release compound so that we can separate the images. Now, say we want the L to be pink, we want the V to be blue, we want the E to be whatever color. That just depends on, it's your preference of what color you want to select. Or if you want it all to be the same color, then you can select the same color. But selecting the color is not it's not going to, excuse me, it's not going to print out that color. Basically, the colors is just so that you can see what that color looks like in a rhinestone. So it is basically based off of whatever rhinestone that you use, and you would use hot fix rhinestones. So let's say I wanted to select the L. So you have a choice of doing an outline of rhinestones or a feel of rhinestones. So what I'm going to do is go to the rhinestone panel over here on the right hand side. All the way down at the bottom it says open the rhinestone panel. It's a circle with lines through it, so you want to click that. So let's say I want to do a edge rhinestones. So I just clicked it. So now you see it appears as circles, and you want to make sure that you click 10SS. You're going to use 10SS. Well, I'm going to use 10SS rhinestones. So this is what it would look like if you were to use the edge rhinestone. So let's say we wanted to fill L. So you can play around with it. Again, it's up to your preference on what you want to use, the linear fill, the radial fill, or the edge. So right now we have linear selected. So let's see what it looks like for radial. So radial is missing some circles, missing some rhinestones, missing rhinestones there, missing rhinestones here. I like the linear fill, which is better. Let's say you were using the radial fill and you wanted to fill in these missing pieces. You have to make sure that you do a release rhinestone. So I'm going to show you an example. So let's release the rhinestones. It's going to take a moment. You'll know that the rhinestones are released because it's going to bring you up a bunch of little squares. So that allows you to be able to move these rhinestones individually. So let's say, oh, you know, I don't want to copy and paste one of these rhinestones and keep copying and pasting and putting it in here. So what you can do is go back to your rhinestone panel. It disappeared and it moved a little slow. So we want to go under draw rhinestones under the rhinestone panel and click freehand. So what we want to do is drag, left click and drag our mouse down. So that is going to give us extra rhinestones and release. Make sure you go back up to your left hand side to click your arrow. And what we're going to do is it's already selected for us. So make sure it's selected and click release rhinestones. Because again, we want to pull these individually to fill our design. So what you would do is just take an individual design, make sure it turns black so you know that that's the one that you're moving. And basically you would fill it. So it does take a little bit of leg work, but you would only have to do this one time because then you're going to save your image. And you don't want your circles to be super close to each other or else it's not going to cut out your circle right. And what you'll be using is flock paper or flock material, I should say. So it's a thicker material with the sticky adhesive back. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to hit the back button. Okay. So now we're back to a linear fill. So say that we wanted these to be some cute little colors, right? Let's change the color to purple. See how it has the red outline around the circles? We can change that if you just don't like that look. You don't want to see it like that. You want to make it purple. So we did that. So now I don't like the line down at the bottom. It's ugly. I don't want it there. So, and I want to add a rhinestone right here. I want to delete these two dots right here. How do I do that? I want to go to release rhinestones. Because remember, when we do release rhinestones, that allows us to be able to move the rhinestones individually. So it allows me to be able to click on one, press delete, click on the other, delete. Because remember, I said I don't want that line there. It's ugly. So I'm going to take that away. I'm going to take that away. And let's say I want to just make this top part even instead of having this extra midline up here of rhinestones. So I'm going to delete these. Okay. So now let's say I just want an extra rhinestone. I don't need, like I'm not doing a lot of filling in, so I'm just going to copy and paste one. So I'm just gonna move that right in here. And remember, you don't want to move it too close to where it's bumping into each other. So sometimes when you do your pictures and you trace your picture, when you do your linear fill or when you do your radial fill, It may feel rhinestones on top of rhinestones, and you'll have to go in there and do a release rhinestone so that way you can remove them individually. Reason being is because you can't press rhinestone on top of rhinestone. It just won't work. So to get those extra rhinestones out, again, release rhinestones and delete them individually. So now let's say you wanted to do this mini. The mini is still, oh no, it's ungrouped. So if it wasn't ungrouped, you would just do a release compound. So let's say we just wanted to make her bowl out of HTV vinyl. And let's say we wanted to use black. My screen just froze up. Let's say we wanted to fill that in black. I want to see the full effect of the black. I don't want to see the red lines around it. So I'm going to change the line to black. I'm going to click on the other bow, the right part of the bow, change that to black, change the line to black. And we have this middle piece here. Let's say I wanted to make that red. And remember, it's not like we're coloring this on a piece of paper. This is just for me to visually see what this design would look like if it was cut out in SVG. So basically, I would use black SVG. I'm sorry, SVG. I would use black HTV vinyl, which is heat transfer vinyl. I would use black heat transfer vinyl with also a red heat transfer vinyl. I just changed the line. Okay. So now say, we want to just do an outline feel of this Mickey. We would go to the edge. And that will give us the outline feel of Mickey. If we change this to feel linear, it is going to feel behind. It's going to make circles behind our bow. You'd have to go in and delete those. It may be a simpler way. Again, you guys, I'm just now learning how to do this, so please don't butcher me. The radial feel, this is what the radial feel would look like. Not too bad. I've seen on the other one, it's the linear feel is still missing a dot. I mean, it's okay, but I'd like the linear feel. Well, I guess it's more round around the edges if you use the radial. So yeah, I'd probably use the radial feel. You want to make sure that this bow, so see if we pull this out, there is a feel of a bunch of circles under the bow. Let's see what happens if we do, no, I don't think that's gonna work. What the heck? Trial and error, right? Let's see if we did, let's see if I can find it. What is it? Let's go to the modify panel and do subtract all. Let's see what happens. Nothing happens. We don't want to intersect all. If we subtracted it, so nothing happens with that. Well, that worked. But now our little bow is missing. Let's go over here and pull it from over here. So we would release compound over here. Let's see what that would look like. So it doesn't quite fit. Actually, that picture is a little bigger. So we could make it smaller so it can fit. So what you would have to do is go in and delete these rhinestones here so it can fit. So that's one way of doing it. I'm just hitting the back button so we can get that back. All right, so we got that back. So let's go back to the rhinestone panel and just do, I have them both selected. Click outside. Let's go even back further. Go back further. There we go. So you want to move these down some to make sure that you don't have this bow on top of the circles. You don't want that. So you want to be careful with that to have images on top of your circles. So now let's say we wanted to do the V. We would select 10SS. We would do our linear fill. Let's say we wanted it pink. And we would change our line to pink. Let's say there were no changes, then we wouldn't do anything with that. Same thing with the E. Let's go make this, I don't know, yellow. Oh, I'm tripping. Let me go back. Do a linear fill. 10SS is selected. Let's make it yellow. Let's change our line to yellow. Let's change up. Let's change our Mickey line to be pink. I don't know, guys. I'm just making up colors. Move that. And I don't have it moved correctly all the way. I'm just trying to give you guys an idea. So basically, let's say we're done. Or let's say we wanted to delete these. This extra row down here at the bottom. You got an extra row up here at the top of the E. So again, you just go to release rhinestones. And you would just delete. Delete top. All right, let's say we're done. We want to draw a box over, hold left click, hold down on the mouse, group. Let's get rid of all of this over here. It's moving a tad bit slow. Delete. Grouped our picture. We know it's grouped because we can move it around. So you want to make sure that your picture is large enough to fit within your mat. So if you're using a 12 by 12 mat, make sure the picture can fit in there. And also understand that when you pull this out to be a larger picture, pay attention to your rhinestones. It's going to show more detail and it's going to provide more space. So if I wanted this to be bigger, then I would just stretch the corner out. Again, it's moving slow, so I would just drag out the corner for the picture to be bigger. So you don't want to go outside of the mat because it's not going to print on your flock paper or your flock material. So you want to make sure it's within this box or within the mat. You want to make sure it's within the mat. So the next step, what you would do is you would go to send. Yesterday, I just did simple. It's taking a while. Because you have these, remember we said we wanted to do these SVG templates, you would have to go to layer. So you would layer it based off of the color. Which it doesn't even show a color. So that is pretty weird. Because it's black and then there's red. I'm not sure. There it goes. So basically we would pick this, we would select the black, we would select the red, and then we would deselect all of these. And then we can just cut our vinyl. If we're just doing dots, so we were doing the dots or say we were doing the rhinestones and we actually had these bowl filled in. Then we would just do it, cut it all together by doing simple. You can try line. It's pretty much looks okay. So the line is just doing the Mickey. So you do it simple, and this is what I did my first time doing it. I actually just did this. I just learned this again. So I used simple, and basically what I did was go over here and selected rhinestone template. And when I cut it, it automatically put it to cut. It automatically selected it to cut twice. So when I pulled my flock paper off the mat, it did a perfect cut of these circles. You just want to make sure, excuse me, you just want to make sure that your circles are not super close together. It looks like when I was creating, it looks like maybe these are 10SS and these are something different, possibly, because this one looks more spaced out than this one. So you want to pay attention to that. Make sure you're selecting your 10SS, your 6SS, whatever you're going to use, make sure you select that. And then you would just hit send and it will start cutting it out for you. And that will be your template created. So then you would just place that flock paper. I use a cutting board from the Dollar Tree. You would just select, or you would just use your cutting board from the Dollar Tree if that's the route you wanted to take. But you just need something that's a hard surface that you can stick the flock paper onto. And then you basically pour your rhinestones into those. I'll probably do another video actually doing it. And I'll also post the materials that I used for it. But that is pretty much it. That is how you create the template. If you guys know any tips or tricks, or if it's something that you want to show me, don't hesitate. I do have a group if you want to join the group. It is called Learn Arts and Crafts with Touch by an Angel 36. I will also place that in the comments down below. Not comments, but the detail section. I will place that there. If you wanted to email me, you can email me at touchbyangel 36 at gmail.com. I hope you guys found this video to be useful, and you guys have a great night. See you next time.